the thing is like, I mean, just like you have the name and not everyone knows your first name. So like for you to create, a different like nickname that you go with, like for people, they don't know what Zephyr is, not what Vaynerchuk is. So I decided to go like with another way. I decided to create like a page saying like my chic rose and like have my, desserts as like everyone is like, oh, I've seen those chic roses. And they're like from Sure.
Chic roses, got it.
Yeah, so maybe I should definitely
I think you're going too narrow. I think you should lean into the truth of the name. I think you should call them like Z cups, if you want to really go American. I also think Zephyr is fine. Like people will fucking figure it out. They're gonna Americanize it and call it like, do you have that Zephyr? Like they'll Americanize it a little bit, but like I'm sure I don't say guacamole right either. So so I think that what's funny is honestly, the number one thing that I want from you is just an ungodly amount of social media content, like an ungodly amount. How much are you posting? You?
So I have a few accounts right now. I'm posting like crazy for my coffee shop because there is a situation.
No. You.
Oh yes. I'm doing everything.
No. I apologize. Your personal brand.
Well, So right now I'm going more on the coffee shop that I have because,
You.
Well, not as much as I wanted to, but
Why?
I can definitely, well, as I'm trying to say, I have so much work with my coffee shop because right now, like, it's a Mother's Day and I have like crepe cakes orders and stuff. And I'm trying to come up with an idea of like, how can I bring people telling my stories? Because I'm telling my stories on my Instagram account about my coffee shop.
Nice job, Dustin. You inspired Dustin.
Oh,
your stuff looks good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Dustin,
thank you so much.
I think you charmed Dustin. Listen, Yulia, this is why I'm pushing you so hard. Put that back up, Dustin. You have to lean into your biggest superpower, and your biggest superpower is your personality.
Thank you.
You need to put out content. You would be a huge TikTok star.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm trying.
That's fine. But you're not trying, because if you're not executing 3 times a day on 3 TikToks with your account, then you're not trying.
All right.
Go back to the teddy bears. That's fucking cute.
Those are marshmallows. Because I was trying to go like what Americans understand, and those are like marshmallows that you pipe, and they're just like real marshmallows. I can pipe those as well. Thank you.
Listen, you are very much on your. Are you shipping nationally?
I can be shipping. I just I don't have any interest from anyone to get it yet. Like I'm giving stuff for free.
Do you have a Shopify store?
On my website, which is right now down, I have the
Why is it down?
One of the WooCommerce. Amazon did some changes. Yeah, Amazon did some changes to updates, and it's
really listen to me.
Yeah, I'm working on
your breakthrough with Zephyr. I think you should go all in on Zephyr. I think it will work. And by the way, I don't want to hurt your feelings. I'm sure my mom's about to laugh. I weirdly was one of the few Russian kids that didn't like it. I didn't.
Well, me too. I don't like it. Like I didn't like the regular one. That's the point. Like I was so surprised to the point of devoting like my life to that, because in Russia it would only be like white, pink, and brown, depending on the coloring.
Right.
And the flavor would be vanilla, strawberry, and
chocolate.
depending on the artificial flavoring. And
That's
now
right.
you can just make it with your own hands, like using some fruit puree, and it will be done just like that within 30 minutes. It's delicious.
All right, listen to me, because I got to move on. You have to make your account, your personal account on TikTok.
I have Yulia Sip of Europe on TikTok. Yep.
You have Yulia Sip of Europe on TikTok?
Yes, Yulia Sip of Europe.
How many times have you posted on TikTok?
I'm trying 2 or 3 times a day. I have the roses, and the last the feed is full of you.
Are you in there? Are you in there?
Not me personally. I want just the product.
I want you personally. I want you. Look what my mom just brought.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly, yes, yes. Yes.
So like, listen, I think you're onto something.
Hmm.
I just think you really need to lean into yourself. I
Hmm.
think you are the star.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I think you need to get over that. You know, are you private because you're Russian? Is it like ingrained in you, or are you okay putting yourself out there?
Oh, I'm absolutely fine. Yeah.
Good. So
Well, yeah.
you need to make you need to make 3 TikTok videos a day with you in it, not the product.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you
All
need
right.
to stay focused because I think you can build the Sapir thing just like guacamole, just like tacos, just like
Uh-huh.
pizza in the 1930s or earlier than that. Got it?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you
You're
very
welcome,
much.
Julie. That was fun. All right, let's keep going.
Oh my God.
Hi.
Dude, let me just tell you, I have been waiting for 2 days. I had to read Bible verses last night on fear and courage so that my hands didn't shake while I'm fucking talking to you, dude.
That's so
You're
awesome.
like my Oprah Winfrey of dudes. Like, I'm like so obsessed with you. My husband is a little jealous. Like, he's like, dude, get off that shit with Gary Vee. I'm like, I need to listen to what he has to say. I'm so stoked. I couldn't be more excited.
Thank you.
And what you're doing platform talking to people like ordinary people like us, dude, nobody does that shit. It's so extraordinary. I can't even tell you. So thank you for the opportunity. It just means the world to me.
Thank you.
So anyway, I just wanted to tell you, my question, get into it. And so my friend and I started a podcast about a year and a half ago called Fed Up. Really, the podcast is about fighting stigmas and judgments. We really want people to know, like, no matter what shit you're going through, somebody else has been through it and is on the other side. And the reason I started it is not to get too much into detail, but at 5 years old, I started having panic attacks. I was an 80s baby, so there wasn't much information on mental health. And really, it wasn't until college where I just pulled myself up from the bootstraps, started going to the library, reading on shit. I sort of self-diagnosed with a therapist, was 15 years in therapy, dealing with everything that, I had to deal with. I just said, I'm going to do this shit on my own. My life is worth living. And so I just said, I want a place for people to go where it's like, you know what, if you feel like shit, you can get a little comic relief. We do like skits, like funny skits on life, or you can get something inspirational. We quote you a lot. And just listen to something that, have you ever felt like nobody understands or fuck, I'm really alone. And then you hear something and you're like, okay, I'm not that weird. I'm not that alone. I'm not that. It makes you feel good.
It's the, not only do I know, it's the biggest driver of my life. I think shadows lead to unhappiness.
Right.
We need to talk out here.
Dude, and just shame. People feel all this shame and all this guilt. And it's like the minute somebody says something, you're like, oh, fuck, you know what? Okay, I feel better. So that was the reason for the podcast and really for our Instagram. But my question is, we've been grinding it out. I follow all the Gary Vee, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, but I ran into, I don't know if you know Mark Manson's book, like the So Giving a Fuck. Do you know that book?
I've seen it.
Anyway, it's like it's an amazing book. It's just amazing. But what I wanted to ask you is, like, what do you think about society really telling us, if,
can I answer a question before you say anything?
Fuck the question. Yeah.
Because it's really funny, like, just even the way that question was just asked. It's hard for me to answer because I can't hear society.
Right.
Like, it's just really funny the way your question just hit. Like, it was just super weird that there was a pause in the way you asked it.
Right.
My answer to your question is I don't know.
Right.
Because I can't hear them.
Right.
My relationship with Judgement is so extraordinary, and the level of guilt I have with it, meaning, oh my God, I'm so blessed. Thank you so much for that
Right.
is all I'm trying to do here for the next fucking 60 years is try to move everybody's relationship with judgment to the place where I'm at. Do you know how unbeatable you are when you can't hear the judgment?
Right. But honestly, it's my issue is not the judgment because we have real like I can give three shits. I had people telling me you're not going to be able to go to school with the conversations we're having. Like I could wipe my ass with that. I've had judgment my whole life. My issue is the way things are framed where it's like if you don't have 1 million followers, then sort of like you ain't shit. And sometimes
But that means you are hearing them. Judgment isn't cousin Ricky telling you
right.
like, "Hey, I don't like your freckles." Like that's not judgment.
Right.
Real judgment is the words that just came out of your mouth.
Right. So how do you get over, for example, seeing yourself really wanting to put out that message? You have a very small following and just feeling like
I lived that
dealing
life.
maybe with that own judgment, like really
I lived
out
that
on my
life.
bullshit.
I lived that life. I had a very small audience. I didn't put a time limit on my impact.
Right.
You're young as fuck. You have 70 fucking years to make this impact. The hell are you worried about how many TikTok followers you have?
Right. I guess just because I just want my message to have a broader reach.
But that's your own ego. Like that's your own shit.
Yeah, for sure. I call myself out on it all the time.
So let's reframe it. Let's talk about the following. You could have 800,000 followers on Instagram, but nobody's really hearing you. They're just following you because they think you're cute or funny or weird or interesting. Or you could have 17 and one person heard you and saved their lives. I would argue you made a lot more impact with 17 followers than 800,000. There's people with 6 million followers because they got tits and ass.
Right.
But are they saving someone's life? Like, why are we, like, there's nothing more of a waste of time than having your self-worth wrapped up in a metric on a social network.
Right. And just letting go of that shit.
I don't hear it. You know, right. It's also why this conversation started off with the right thing. You know why I'm in here with regular people? Because I'm regular people. Because on the flip side, I don't see my 7.9 either.
Right.
What?
And so what do you think? Because your message is like, just to get your message to broaden your reach, you know, what do you say to that?
That's going to be on the merit of your message.
Right.
Martin Luther King would be fucking flexing on Instagram right now. Gandhi would be fucking going ham on TikTok.
Right. Yeah, I just feel like people feel all this pressure to like be,
because they're listening.
You know, the next big thing and all this stress and anxiety. And like, I want to let go of that shit. Like, I want to let go of that.
So let go.
Yeah, dude, that's why I'm on here with you, because I know you call me out on my shit.
Yeah, because you're telling me that you don't give a fuck, and then you completely give a fuck.
I completely give a fuck. Listen, I've been to enough therapy to help out on my own shit, dude. I have no problem.
Listen, I got super love for you. Listen, it's really easy. It's really hard, and it's really easy. What's easy about it is understanding that it's right there for you. It's right there for you. It's like, honestly, like, it's just going into a cocoon. Like, it's, you know, it's kind of like working out. It's like every day realizing, by the way, this is why I've been yelling about, like, I actually want Instagram and the social networks to hide following count and like all numbers, hide them all.
Right.
But I don't need them. Like hide them all.
Right.
People are just in high school.
Yeah.
You know, people's social media following is now like the car they drive. Like, people are like, oh, social media sucks. It's fucking everyone up. I'm like, no, it's not. Why do you think people bought BMWs? Why do you think people bought expensive sneakers? Like, why do you think people always try to impress others? What do I feel about society's judgment? I don't know, because I haven't heard them for so long.
And what do you think about just, let's say, you know, you obviously I want my message to grow. I want more eyes on what we're doing to help more people, because I felt so alone for so fucking long and had nowhere to really go to. I sort of had to like do it on my own. My thing is, what do you feel about, let's say I grind and do.
Give. So like to your point, so give. Put out the content. Like, you just have to think about yourself. Gary V is the person that 11-year-old Gary Vaynerchuk wanted to look up to. I'm living the life that I think you should live. I am the person on social media that I would have looked up to. So you need to be the person that you needed when you were a kid. And you need to realize that if you find if Carol from fucking Canton, Ohio.
Oh no, we get emails all the time with the small following. We have like a super loyal small following.
So stop saying small following.
Right.
Just start saying following. And just start saying people I'm trying to help. Like, people have to reverse it. People are about themselves.
You're right.
People are looking for a blue check. People are looking for a following count. People are looking for a cosign from a celebrity. People are about themselves.
I think sometimes I just think about the following count, and then it fucks up. Really, the genuine started it with, because I'm like,
of course,
people are telling me.
If I listen to my,
but I think we all, like, people struggle with that shit. Like they start thinking my shit ain't shit because of this fucking numbers.
I get it. And on the flip side, in my world, people don't have the humility to do what I'm doing right now. If I believed in my number, I wouldn't do this shit. You'd be a waste of my time if I believed my number.
Right.
It works both ways. People that don't have it are fucking, feel like they're nothing. And people that have it think they're something. And neither are true.
Right.
Ooh, I like that one.
That's a good one.
It is a good one. Because it's the fucking
My mother-in-law always used to tell me, you're not that important. And the minute you realize that, your life will take off. Just get over it.
Your mother-in-law's right. That's wisdom. Like, it's super important. Like, I'm not unaware that I was gifted some talents and I'm doing something, but I don't fucking believe it. I do not get high on my own supply. I do not. Right. And I surely don't envy anybody else. If you're impacting one girl that looks like you,
right.
that thank God you had the inner strength to go to the fucking library. A lot didn't. Right? So what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? You save one person's life or make one person's life better. You fucking won.
That's what my husband says. Get the fuck over yourself.
Yeah, like, listen, and by the way, the second you start getting over yourself, you start going fast. One of the things that really works for me is by having such clarity and calmness, I go so fast, which creates so much, which then in essence creates the thing that you're looking for. The more you're not thinking, the more you're going to be doing. The more you're going to be doing, the more likely you're going to find the thing that unlocks the thing that you actually wanted.
Right.
Giving is always the path to the thing you want.
Right. Okay, Gary. Well, thanks. Do I owe you a check at the end of this?
Nope.
Free therapy for the first time in 15 years, man.
Have a great day. Thanks for being on.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
Let's keep it going.
Hi.
How do you pronounce your name?
Oh my God. It's Shanice.
Shanice, so nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you. I'm 21. I'm from Ireland. This is crazy to me. I've looked up to you for so long. Like, I have so many interests. I'm interested in singing, dancing, graphic design. Like, the minute you launched Join Team Gary Vee, I was on top of it. I was creating and I wouldn't stop. And like, luckily enough, I was so grateful that my designs were featured on the page and I made so many amazing connections. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And you kept pushing TikTok. And I was like, right, I have to check out and see what TikTok is all about. So I made an account and nearly a year later, I'm on like 64K. And that has given me amazing opportunities. Like, I'm so, so grateful. You've no idea. Like, it's beyond what I could have ever imagined. You've been such an inspiration to me for so long. I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. I'm like,
it's okay.
stuttering out my words. And basically, like, my question is, because I have a lot of interests, I'm not sure what to be posting, like, because graphic design is my inspiration. Like, I've reached out to so many I've reached out to a lot of building up, like, TikTokers. I'm like, my thing right now is making animated profile pictures, and I've made a lot of profile pictures for TikTokers. So I'm using your advice in the sense that, like, free is the way to go when you want to get your content seen.
Especially when you can afford for free, especially when your work isn't valuable to anybody just yet. It is a gateway in this internet world. Good for you.
Yeah, definitely.
And so
I respect you so much.
Thank you. So are you saying that the question comes in the form of, just got all these different interests, how should I be thinking about putting out content?
Yeah, like, I'm not even lying when I say I have over like 1,200 videos on TikTok. I post like so many times a day. And it's kind of, I'm linking my Instagram with my TikTok. I'm getting people to go over and look at my designs, and I'm slowly growing on Instagram because I realize how hard it is to grow. But like I said, I'm using your advice, being like, hey, I'll do this for you for free. If you like, share this on your story, tag me, let your friends know that I did it for you. And yeah, that's my question. Like, should I zone in on one thing, or should I taste like different things?
I mean, even the fact that you use the word taste different things means you already know the answer.
I do.
It's so crazy to me to live a life where, like, I think because I actually was not well read, and I have my own vernacular, and to just even hear you say taste different things, it's so flattering.
I've been watching you for so long, like 6 years, honestly, constant, nonstop. You've changed my life completely. My perspective on life is, I never would have thought it would be like this.
Listen to me, you're well on your way. Is there, like, you're well on your way?
My end goal is to be part of Team Gary Vee one day, and I am going to make sure that happens.
I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. Like, if we weren't going through this crazy situation, and plus visas, unfortunately, have become super hard in the U.S., but I would not bet against you. And every chemical in my body just said, yes, she's going to. Is there anything else I can answer for you? Like, because obviously this is like an interaction more than a question, because I feel like you know the answers. Is there genuinely something that has been confusing? I come from so many different angles. Sometimes people are like, wait a minute, didn't he say the opposite the other day? Is there anything that you need on a clarity? As a matter of fact, what everybody's watching right now, so many of you have been in the cocoon for so long. I'm very open to questions that are like, hey, Gary, what you might think is challenging me, I don't think it's a contradiction. I think it's a layer to answer. So going forward on Tea with Gary Vee, if anybody has a clarification question, I'm happy to answer it. Anything like that comes to mind?
So, like, when it comes to posting content, like, I know you say, like, post as much as you can and as often as you can. But when you're designing, like, when it comes to designing, I know I spend a lot of time doing it, and I sometimes get burned out, but I keep on going. Like, sometimes it does get hard. Do you recommend that knowing when they're like setting limits for yourself and knowing when to stop? And
100%. I stop all the time.
Yeah.
Like, of course, anything that becomes stressful or anxious or upsetting needs to stop. Like, no matter how hard I go, I'm always willing to stop if I don't feel it.
Yeah.
I always trust my feelings.
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes it gets very tiring. Like, although I love it with an absolute passion, I think I go to the extreme and I go too far, and then I'm run down, and then I'm stressing out.
Yeah, just the rundown is going to happen because when you're loving it, inevitably you're not even going to feel it. It's almost like adrenaline, and then after the game you're like, why does everything hurt? Right, I was playing with adrenaline and now my muscles hurt, or this injury hurts. That's okay. I think that what you want to make sure, like, you need to know that, like, if you promised Charlie that you were going to deliver something, but you feel run down and you were going to deliver it on Tuesday night, it's okay to send a message and say, hey, I feel a little run down. Can I get this to you Wednesday midday?
Yeah.
Like, people are compassionate.
Yeah, definitely. I have one more question. Since I'm hopefully going to be working for you in the future, can you follow me back on Instagram?
100%. I'll do it right now on the spot. Is it the same handle as this right here?
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much. And thank you so much.
Have the best day, and I hope you're keeping well and safe during quarantine.
6,144. That's me. It's done. Thanks for being on.
Such a dream. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Dustin.
Yes, sir.
Good show.
Yeah.
Fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like a weird? Do we have the podcast ending?
We do.
We do. Oh, I can't wait to see it. Everybody's watching. One thing that I realized with Tea with Gary Vee is the majority of you are actually not subscribed to my podcast. You listen to it, but you're not subscribed on Spotify or, more importantly, Apple. Anybody with an iPhone who's not subscribed to the podcast, you're hurting my feelings. So we have a little bit of a promotional thing to inspire you. If you've just subscribed to my podcast, there's the URL. It's garyvee.com/audio experience if you want the whole thing, or you can go to Apple and just search Gary Vee Audio Experience. I would love for you to get on board. There's so much going on here. I have a little bit of a concern that Tea with Gary Vee does not continue post-COVID, but the way you can get that hit is through Tea with Gary Vee. Also, before I head out, wine text today. I saw several people asking for the heads up. Today's a monster. It's a wine from the Languedoc in France. And it's 93 points from one of the hardest critics in the world. So that's just crazy. And it's under $20 a bottle. It's a big time red. For a lot of you that drink $40, $50 reds or aspire to, it's a big time red. So please sign up for winetext.com if you buy wine in the US. It would mean the world to me. And please check this out. I realize a lot of you that watch Tea with Gary Vee aren't signed up for my podcast. That makes me sad. Here's what you're missing out on.
No, you like helped me so much.
Thank you, bro.
And like, you know,